Okay, I have that it's 7 o'clock. We will call this meeting to order. Everybody stand and say the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Amen.
Thank you. All right, just a reminder, if you are here to speak on public comment time, make sure you're signed in on the podium up here. And then when you come up to speak, you will give your name and address for the record. All right, first item on the agenda is approval of November minutes and December claim docket.
I make a motion that we accept the November minutes and the December claim dockets as they stand.
Okay, I have a first motion. Got a second motion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Okay. One real quick thing. When I came in to get set up today for all the AV equipment, some of the TVs had been switched, which it's great that people are using the room for other things in between meetings. Just try to remember to put it back the way you found it, whoever's using. I think there was a CPR class in here and some things like that. So just to help me, it took me about 15 minutes to figure out which input I had to switch it back to. But we got it working. So, all right. Next item on old business. So we passed an ordinance about vacating an alley at 4829 Pennsylvania Street. And did we complete all the information you needed for that, Graham?
So we've got a couple of outstanding items. We found the minutes for the public hearings. We've had the public hearing. We need to get a couple of consents from abutting landowners that we're trying. I think an individual was out of town, maybe.
Okay.
We're trying to track those down.
All right. So we need to table this for till the next
Yeah.
meeting one more time. All right. Very good. Next item, old business, is a bond for deputy clerk.
Okay, so I talked to two people at the State Board of Accounts. One of them said she had to have a bond and one of them said she didn't. So we looked through the insurance today and it has a crime clause in it. So she would be covered under that. But I just almost feel like we ought to go ahead and bond her. That's just my opinion because she handles money and stuff. So it's up to you guys.
All right. Discussion?
I think we should do it.
We're better off having her bonded though. Best.
Yeah, because the insurance policy said that if you were bonded, the insurance would not cover you. Would only cover you if you weren't bonded. So it did say that everybody, the town marshal, the town manager, you guys, me, should be, but she didn't have to. But then when he sent me the other thing, it said that she should. So I think she should.
I think we should go ahead and get her bonded.
Get her done.
Would we save premium on insurance? Would that
No.
drop down some to
No, I don't
if
think
we
so.
weren't doing it through the insurance?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Because that's just the thing that's put in the insurance policy. I don't think there's a specific, cost on it. It's with a whole bunch of other stuff. I sent another, what was it I sent a thing to him about? Oh, when we got the insurance out, the new car is not on the insurance policy. Yeah, so don't have a wreck. I talked to him, but I haven't gotten any more information.
You're driving without insurance.
I think so. Only for
All right,
what it
so-
says on the side of the car. It's an infraction for the police. So I have sent him a message, the insurance guy.
About
about
Fixing the car.
The car, yes.
And the, so how, the bond, what is, the process for that?
I'll
Will you
just have to
put-
send, I'll have to, go through, what is it called? I'll just have to get another bond for her, and I don't know how much it is. Merchants Bonding, that's where all of ours are from, Merchants Bonding, so I just have to get with them to get another bond.
Okay,
And
So,
quick
once you
question.
get that, oh,
Is
sorry,
that bonding the position or is that bonding duty?
It's bonding the position,
Okay,
yeah.
okay.
good question. All right, so you'll, get back to us next meeting when you have information from merchants.
Okay. Okay.
We'll review that again. All right, new business. We got a transfer of funds.
Maybe this is the last one for the year.
Maybe.
Then again. It's for gas for the police car. $56.74, so I'm taking it out of website fees because we have a little bit of money left there. And then purchase and renovation for all of the Christmas lights and tree that we bought, and that's transferring $960.22, both in the general fund, and it's a total of $1,016.96. And that's coming out, we had extra money in the computer maintenance fee, and I used that.
Okay, any questions, comments, discussion?
I make a motion that we transfer $1,016.50 on the funds,
96 cents.
96 cents.
All right, I got a first motion,
I'll second that.
got a second motion. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Okay, transfer of funds has been, taken care of. All right, so, this next item on the agenda, so when Steve Schwartz, moved out of town and resigned, I was neglectful in, fulfilling, some of the roles that he did. So he was also, a part of our planning and zoning advisory board. That board is a 7-member board. There's 4 civilians and then 3 either an elected official or a town employee. So the position Steve filled was an elected official. That can be, he can be replaced by another elected official or a town employee. So I needed to just bring that up and see, is there anybody interested in that, or has any recommendations on filling Steve's role on the planning and zoning advisory board?
I'll do it if you need someone to do it.
Okay. All right. Simple enough.
Yeah.
Dave Ernst will take Steve's spot on the planning and zoning advisory board. We meet the first Tuesday of every month, 6 o'clock.
Here.
Here in this building. Yes. All right. Another item I want to real quick just touch on. I'm not too sure. Hopefully it'll be real quick. This may set off. So Pete came to me this afternoon, said the township trustee approached him and said, we will lose our fire coverage as in 14 days. So we will no longer be covered by the fire department, according to him. The township trustee told him that. Because we haven't paid our second half of our contract. So, which my beef immediately was, we don't have a contract with the township trustee. We never have.
Right.
Right.
So I don't know what he's talking about with that part of it. He also told Pete that we don't pay taxes to cover ourselves for fire service. And I said, well, we most certainly do, because even though I live in the town of Clayton, I am also a township resident. And I looked on my tax bill just to double check, and I pay township taxes. Every one of us do.
Yeah.
So again, I'm not too sure what he's talking about, but I thought I'd bring it up to you guys to just kind of say that this is something that we're gonna have to keep an eye on. I don't know if he's gonna instruct his firefighters to not respond to addresses in town. I mean, is that what he was inferring, that we're gonna lose fire coverage?
Didn't get that far into it.
Okay,
He was
Well-
just showing his spreadsheet, you know.
Well, like you say, since we pay town tax and township taxes, and like I said, we never had a contract, well, just that 401.
we had a contract with the 501c3 that no longer responds to firefighting or to medical calls.
What I was
They
gonna
don't respond. It's
I was
the
gonna say, is
township
this
fire
something-
department does.
say,
Right.
something Graham should talk to Brian about, that he may be wrong.
Well, I mean, if it gets to that point,
Yeah.
I mean, Jeff Bellamy is their attorney, and so I don't know that we are to that point yet.
Yeah,
But we do not have a contract with the township trustee
Yeah.
for fire service or for EMS. I mean, if it's a government entity, to me, you respond when 911 gets called
Yeah.
to places within your district, and the town is still within Liberty Township. There's not,
yeah.
I mean,
Right.
there's
Right.
nothing that I'm aware of that says the town is not part of Liberty Township. In fact, my statement from Nikki Lawson is that I live in Hendricks County, Township, Liberty Township, Town of Clayton. I mean, it's, all three of those
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
are listed on my tax assessment. So, I don't know how we wanna move forward with that, but
Well, I would hate to say in 14 days, he puts a halt on his people making runs in town and something happens to someone, they're waiting on an ambulance or a fire run and no one shows up. You know, we don't want that.
right, my understanding that they would be guilty of malfeasance, but,
Yeah.
cause that's their job, is to respond.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Right, yeah.
And they're using our building, they're
Mhm.
here in town, so it's not,
Right.
like, it doesn't make sense to me. So I'm not too sure what his point was, but,
He should have come to the meeting and explained it.
well, and that's the other thing, I kind of barked at Pete a little bit when he brought this up, cause it kind of struck a nerve.
So did
The
I.
fire department has not sent a representative to this meeting consistently since the fire territory issue
Yeah.
last year.
Right.
And so if they have issues that they need to talk to the town about, this is their format. I mean, we've been to, you know, meetings that the township trustees had.
Right.
In fact, the last one I was at, I specifically asked Mr. Butler if he felt like the fire department was now fully funded, and his answer was yes. Because that's what they were talking about. So I don't, anyway. Any questions or
Does he have
comments?
jurisdiction even to do that?
I mean, I don't think he does.
Yeah.
Obviously, he thinks that that's
Okay.
whereas, I mean, he's in charge of the fire department, but I don't think he can tell them, don't respond to an address inside of the town of Clayton. I don't think he's legally allowed to do that, but I would hope it doesn't actually happen, but he seems to want more money from us, is what he was telling Pete.
Kind of, yeah.
He wants more money from us.
So what are we gonna do from now, I mean, what's our plan to go forward? I mean, we're not gonna just sit here and say, well, maybe they won't, maybe they will.
No.
Pete's gonna talk to him.
Yeah, I'm gonna talk to him again. I mean, he gave me, like I said, he gave me the spreadsheet. He was trying to, I mean, the numbers were so small, I was having a hard time seeing them. But he said, here's Clayton, and he went where the taxes are paid, and he goes, see, there's all zeros here. And I don't know if there's just off a line, you know what I'm saying? But on his paperwork, it wasn't. I mean, he wasn't insinuating he was gonna quit. He just said in 15 days, you're out.
No, but if the residences of Clayton are gonna pay fire taxes on top of taxes they're already paying for the township, that's paying taxes twice for the same service,
Yeah,
and that's wrong.
right.
Yeah, I mean, our tax rate as citizens of Liberty Township, we pay 0.017, so basically 1.7 cents on every $100 value of our property. And that goes to the Liberty Township, and that's to support the Liberty Township services, which includes the fire service. It didn't until June of this year. I mean, the fire department was not a township entity until June 1st of 2023. But now it is,
Right.
according to Chief Russell. I mean, he was here in May and he told us that was the plan. So,
And we paid him $17,500 in June for January through May.
right,
One last payment.
Yes.
Yeah.
We had 42,000 appropriated and we,
Right.
So this isn't something that the town, or the town board or whatever has said, we're not paying you. This is coming from what, the recorder's office?
No,
The,
From what you just said, when it changed over, obviously he's still not thinking straight, that we don't know him anymore.
right. I mean, like I said, we do not have a contract with the township trustee, the government entity. We had a contract with a 501c3 fire department until they gave up those responsibilities of responding. I mean, that was the contract. We're gonna pay you to respond to fire and EMS runs. Then when they stopped
well.
having
I
that
don't think they're
responsibility, we stopped
501(c)(3)
paying them.
anymore.
But
Or they're under-
you and
they're
I,
under
or those of us who live here in Clayton,
the
still
township trustee and
pay
we're not-
township taxes,
we're not
which
supposed
goes
pay them.
to
Right, but it's-
pay Liberty Township services.
Yes, as far as I know.
So, I mean, I don't know what his spreadsheet, where that came from, but, I mean, I have, 3 years worth of tax bills that all say I'm paying township taxes. So, there was 1 year, back in 2020, when nobody in Liberty Township paid township taxes, and that was an error, a bookkeeping error by the township trustee then. And
Because he didn't file his
he
budget or
didn't,
something.
right, he didn't file his
Yeah.
budget. But that's the only time we've ever gotten away with not paying township taxes. We,
You know, if
we
you've
pay
done it
them
for
because
30
we live in
years,
Liberty
it seems
Township.
like you wouldn't forget to file your-
Alright, so, well, I mean, going forward, we'll try to figure out, what, his plan is as far as him telling us we're without fire coverage.
I will try to get him to meet with you and I,
Okay.
see what his way of thinking is.
And then, I don't know if this is too soon to start thinking about, Graham, do we need a memo of understanding or anything with the township government for this type of service, or is this just one of those understood things that should always be there no matter what?
Why don't you talk to him first,
Okay,
and then we should probably talk based on that conversation, and it might be prudent to have something like that in place. I mean, the lack of notice here is what's most troubling. I mean, you can't do anything in 15 days.
right.
Yeah.
Right, and we just spent, what, $14,000 putting a new furnace, air conditioner in their station?
yeah.
I mean, they're using our building rent-free.
And I thought the chief, when he was here in May, I thought he suggested everything was gonna continue. I mean, there was gonna be service, and I don't recall if the contract was discussed then.
But there shouldn't be a contract.
Right.
Yeah.
There shouldn't have to be a contract at all. It's a service the township's getting provided. And so the residents of the township get the service because they're paying for it.
Right, and the only reason we had a contract before was because the
Because-
township wasn't providing the service. It was a private 501c3 that was providing the service. But when they dissolved, they didn't dissolve, but they handed over 100% of their equipment and responsibilities to the township trustee on June 1st. That was according to, when Chief Russell was here, that's what he said they were doing, was handing over those responsibilities to him. But we'll dig into this some more, and, again, there should just be the understanding somebody's responding.
Well, it's what Plainfield's been doing, right?
Right.
And that's their gripe has been, they've been responding but haven't been compensated.
And or Danville comes down here a lot too. There, I see their ambulance and fire trucks in town quite a bit still. All right, well, sorry to throw that into the agenda, but that was today. Pete
Yeah.
brought me that today, and I was just kind of floored.
Well, and I approached him because I was coming back into town when I took my tractor back up. And I seen him, I just stopped to say hi, and then he started bringing all this.
Oh, so he didn't even bring this up to you as far as
No, I
bringing
mean,
the
I didn't
attention to
bring-
you?
No, I just went in to say hi to him, and then he hits me with all this stuff while I'm there. He goes, "Do you realize you're gonna be out of, fire people in 15 days?" I said, "No, I didn't realize that." So then he gets a spreadsheet out, he goes, "Okay, this is, Town of Coatesville does this, you guys see right here, you don't pay taxes here." And I said, "Well, okay, let me get with Doug with this, and we'll see, we'll go from there." He said, "Well, yeah, he needs to talk to me."
So
No.
he had this understanding that we were gonna be without fire service, and he never approached
No,
anybody on his own. Wow.
Why does he have anything about Coatesville anyway? They're not Liberty
They're not
Township.
Liberty Township.
They're-
Well,
Aren't
he had
they
this
Center
spreadsheet,
or
had a whole
Franklin?
bunch of towns on there.
All right, well, that's irritating. Sorry.
Very.
Shouldn't be irritated, I guess, but. Okay, all right, well, Pete and I will try to
I'll text you.
figure out what
I got, I got his number and everything. I'll text you if we need to
I'm
talk.
gonna do, but that's. All right, any other comments, questions, thoughts on this? All right, Mr. Penner, you're up next. Property maintenance is your, agenda item.
You have to step up to the podium, sir.
How are you, sir? Welcome.
I never recognize you without that hat on.
I wash my hair tonight, so I don't have to.
Everybody always thinks that's his real hair.
I know.
Yeah.
So James Panner, address would be 5163 South State Road 39. So here's the deal. I'm getting older, and the guy that bought my septic business is wanting to buy the barn and basically the same facility what we got going on now. And I actually got a permit approval for a solid waste processing facility back on March the 8th. It's good for 5 years, and I'm not planning on doing anything with it. It is transferable, so if he decides to spend the money, that's probably what he'll end up doing that. But he approached me now. He wants to kind of like buy into the facility I've got now, like a little bit this year, a little bit next year, and a little bit next year, and then it'll be paid for. But the issue we've got is when I bought the property off of Frank Barnes, you guys had already put the driveway back to the sewer plant. And supposedly, from my understanding, the driveway, it's on me. But you guys put the driveway in and you got an easement to use it. Okay, well, his deal is, so the driveway's there, so he wants to know, and then who's gonna maintain it? Like, he's going in and out, you guys go in and out all the time, and more than likely, if I sell it, I'll probably build a barn back there, just so I got a place to go tinker. So there would be, 3 of us, and it's like, I don't know, so what I would like to see, would we call it a dead-end street, and let the town take over the maintenance of it, and then, I don't know if there's if I give you a right of way, or I don't know how that all works, but basically, say 10 years down the road when we need some asphalt, how would we divide it up? If I own the ground, you use it, he uses it. I mean, I don't know. That's why I'm asking. And like where I live, right across the road from where I live, it's a dead end street, and it's no wider than what we have. I mean, it's a dead end street. Then the county, they come and they chipped and tarred it last year, but I don't know. So that's what I'm asking. How we do with the street?
So, if I might interject quickly.
Yes.
I'm pretty sure that you had Andy Colt represent you, and we came up with an easement agreement that and I'm pretty sure it deals with maintenance in there. I don't recall offhand how, but I'm pretty sure there's a document that the board approved that
So,
already
but-
controls that.
But I mean, like my taxes, you know, I pay taxes back there, he pays taxes back there, so why shouldn't it be something that, and the town needs the road, I mean, it's theirs, so why shouldn't, I mean, is there a reason why that couldn't be taken over as a street and let the town maintain it?
I mean, if the board wants to do something different, I'm just saying, I think there is a pre-existing agreement on maintenance, I just don't know.
It just gets more complicated when I had it in the town, that was fine, now all of a sudden we had another party in the mix. And so the more parties, you know, if something else happened that, you know, I could sell something else, then you got, you know, it gets more people involved and then, I don't know.
I just wanted to remind everybody of that.
Why don't we see what the agreement says and find out for sure what the agreement says, and then talk about what ideas of how to get it set over to a town entity rather than a private entity.
Okay, and then right now, like I have an easement, cause part of it, I go on you guys to get to where I go.
Uh-huh.
My plan would be to do away with that, build a permanent fence there, and then tear down that little green barn that's there where the cop car used to park.
Uh-huh.
Tear that down, and I would put a drive in there that would go on the north side of the property that we use, and that way there's access to.
So you wouldn't still use the common?
I would, but right now there's the cul-de-sac, and then there's that hump that you go up to get into where the barn is.
Okay,
So I would do away with that. So I would put the drive that goes to the facility back there would be on the north side of the fence line. So it would be all on my property.
oh,
So there wouldn't be any, you know, easement there.
right.
So just trying to streamline. I mean, it's something that happens, get older and start parting stuff off, you know.
Yeah.
So, I mean, and I actually put asphalt on it. I think it was like in 2008. I covered the whole thing with asphalt, and it's been good. I mean, it's you guys when you put the road in, you did it really good. I mean, they made it super heavy, and it's a nice road. But this guy just wants to know, well, who's gonna pay for it? And it's like, well, that's something I gotta figure out. So, that's why
Mr.
I'm
Monday,
yeah,
what you're talking about?
yeah.
So, yeah, I think, you know, reevaluating the contract that exists already on the maintenance, and then just say, what do we need to do to amend this, or maybe even draw up a new one, that would shift, to whatever, you know, would be mutual beneficial for both of us. I mean,
For
you
everybody.
do, you do an amazing amount of things for the town down there with the wastewater treatment plant and helping us out with removing our solids for next to nothing compared. I mean,
No, it's been nothing.
town council member from Mooresville contacted me. He wanted to know how much we paid for removal of solids because they were paying just like extreme amounts,
Yeah.
and I said, you don't want to know because we have a really sweet deal with our.
It's
our
beneficial for
neighbor and
both
stuff.
of us,
Yeah,
but yeah,
so-
but we help each other.
I think
So-
there's no reason to, you know, not continue making
Yeah.
sure that it's mutually beneficial and that we
Yeah,
get
I
the
just-
best deal for everybody involved. And but let's look and see what the contract with
Okay,
you guys already says, and then just figure out what do we need to do to amend that.
okay,
Thank
good
you.
enough.
Any other questions for Mr. Penner?
No.
All right.
Thanks, sir.
Thanks.
Thank you, sir. All right. Looks like Pete, you're up next on the agenda.
I don't have a whole lot. Mr. Woolard finally responded to me on the voicemail that it's probably been 3 or 4 weeks, but he's pretty busy. It takes
He
him a
is.
while to get back to me.
Yes.
He doesn't object to, the Ader Ditch project, or if we decide to tile down to the pond, and he'll sign documents to that effect. And put up a new security light on the southeast corner of the garage. Basically so John could see where the dumpster's at after dark.
It is dark back there, that's for
Yeah.
sure.
I had a
Yeah, it's got,
$79
it's got 3
neat
lights
line.
on it, and one of them faces the bucket truck, so we don't get any more diesel fuel stolen, hopefully.
Yeah.
And the other one faces out towards the street.
Yeah.
A lot of diesel fuel stolen out of it.
100 gallons. Yeah,
More than once,
yeah.
so.
And I tried to fix the other security light that's on the fire department. I put a new sensor on it, new bulb, still didn't work. I called John, and John and I went in the fire department and checked all the breakers, nothing's tripped. I don't know if just the whole thing needs replaced or what, but it didn't work. And I thought your guys' tree lighting ceremony was very successful. Thanks to Santa
Great.
Claus, Thomas and his police. It was really good, I thought it was.
And we'd have to thank the ladies that
Yeah. Yep.
decided to do all
Oh,
this.
yeah. Yep. And I got rid of the bush across the street today.
Saw that,
Dug it
yeah.
up, and got rid of that, so it doesn't kill any more dogs. I never did understand that,
Yeah,
but
I don't either. All right. Anybody got any questions for Pete?
okay.
All right, thank you very much, sir. All right, George Burnett, you're up next.
All right, short tonight, really. So, the school's officially hooked on to us now. That happened on the 4th, and let Jenny know. So I think you've actually already started sending the bills out. There's still some issues and things to resolve out there. They've got a lot yet to happen, but they're officially pumping to us now. So I'll give it a month or so. Right now, there's been no adverse effects or any differences, so we'll monitor that and keep it going. The other thing was, we're still working on the issue for the Reagan Street, that easement, so you're still working with getting them to the people there.
Not one of them,
So,
sister-in-law.
yeah. So, once that gets approved and everything, it'll have to go to the attorney to get some documents, drafted up and everything. They'll have to actually sign it. And then at that point, then Banning would go to the next phase if we approve all that, which is actually the design phase of the project itself, what it's gonna take. And then after that, we go out for bidding. So that's in the process. So that's all I
Very good.
got. Short and sweet.
Okay.
No questions? All right.
Good job, George.
Chief Remender.
I guess I'll keep the same theme. I've got a pretty short list here too. Most of you are all aware, last month was a pretty busy month for the police department. We had quite a
Yeah.
crime spree going on, so did some surveillance with some of my guys, and county helped us out a lot on this. We caught them. There was 4 juveniles that were behind all of it, actually. So 2 of them were 2 runaways from Monrovia. They were all 15-year-olds. They were involved with the attempted car thefts, with all the car break-ins in the cars. So 2 of them were our previous guy that did the arson. So kind of been 2 of our primary candidates for most of our issues, the toilet paper in the park and those kind of things. So 2 of them were those. So hopefully we got it taken care of for a while again until they get off probation or they let them out of juvenile. Trying to build a rapport with these kids too. Obviously my background with working with juveniles for over 20 years, I kind of have a little bit of a heart for these knuckleheads, but so trying to really reach out to them. So when I'm out here, kind of stopping by their houses and talking to their parents and talking to them and trying to build a relationship that hopefully we won't get any more of this down the road. Try to utilize some of those talents in other areas that are more profitable. So the other thing is just another reminder that we do holiday checks. People are out of town, that we'll check their houses for them while they're gone. And another one is the first of the year, it's really difficult for me. I did a lot of night shifts because of this crime spree, but I'm going to look for a couple of reserves that can maybe work in the middle of the night to help us. That's really where we don't have a lot of, the guys don't work a lot of the night shift type of stuff. And obviously, that's when most of the break-ins or thefts occur. And so I'm gonna look for a couple reserves that could specifically work in those late night hours. We are blessed. I think now we're up to like 20 officers that live in this little town. A couple new ones just moved in. So we do have a couple county guys that really do help us out a lot on night shift, and we utilize our, if a lot of you know, this is kind of the South District for county to hang out in. I've given them access to the computers, and they can use our computers and stuff, so it does give us some more coverage, but I'd like to hire a couple of guys that help us out for that late night shift. That's it.
I got a question for you.
What you got?
Someone told me it's the sheriff's department you've got to talk to, but I know they got them in Stylesville, and I've seen them in Mooresville. The speed signs similar to what we got, you know, it tells the speed limits,
Uh-huh.
but they're red and blue. When you're going over the speed limit, they flash red and blue
Right.
lights.
Right.
And I didn't know if that's something, because someone told me you need to talk to the sheriff's department. There's the
Yeah.
ones that got them.
Actually, those are the same things that we have,
Yeah.
other than we just didn't buy those kinds.
Yeah.
So we could actually purchase those same kinds from the same companies that we bought ours from that would flash that red and blue.
Well, what I was wondering, if they had them in I don't know if Stylesville
Oh,
bought them.
you're saying,
They're on a trailer.
so county does have one as mobile.
Yeah.
I could actually request and have them request, and then we'd get on the rotation and they would put it on some of our roads, yes.
Because I was really shocked when I seen them, because how
Yeah.
many people are stopping way ahead of those when they see the red and
Yeah,
blue
the
light?
one on 40,
And
you're
it's
like,
Stylesville,
oh,
yeah.
the police are up there, and then
Yeah.
you get up there, it's the actual, yeah.
That's-
Yeah, yeah. I'll actually put in a request to have them, put it on some of our
Yeah.
streets. So they kind of move that around. So I don't
Yeah.
think that's even Stylesville's. I actually think it's the counties.
Yeah, it probably is.
Yeah, yeah. So I'll put in a request to have them bring it over our way. Those are fairly expensive. Those are,
Yeah.
last I knew, they were roughly about 10 grand. But they're really nice because they're mobile.
Our tax dollars at work.
Yes, yes. Anything else?
Well, thanks so much for your assistance on Christmas in Clayton. There was
Great.
a
I-
lot of good feedback, and you guys helped keep everybody safe on the streets and
Thanks.
stuff.
I thought it was a
that
huge
evening.
success. Those folks that did that was a great job. Folks kind of hung around for a while even. I think we were about maxed on parking. I even felt like a little bit when we were doing the lighting, I had a lot of people on the street there. I think next year I'm actually gonna I can at least block half the road off. I have to get a permit if I block 39 off
Right,
altogether.
we have the plan in place is to actually get permission from DOT
To do
block
that,
39
okay.
completely during that event.
Right,
So,
because it's even, I didn't realize how dark it is out there. It's actually a dark intersection.
yeah.
So we had all those people kind of crossing, so we kind of hung out there and helped them cross all night. But yeah, I thought it was awesome. It was really exciting to be a part of that. Thanks, guys.
Okay.
All right. Just so everybody's aware, there's a swearing-in ceremony next Thursday for Dave, John, and myself, and Jenny. If anybody wants to attend, it's 10 o'clock at the courthouse.
Yep.
I don't know, are you
10:30,
guys
isn't it?
planning on going? Huh?
I think it's 10:30, isn't it?
Oh,
10:30.
10:30. Okay.
I don't know, you guys going?
They ain't gonna keep me if I go. will they?
They might.
Might be a risk.
They might.
Yeah.
I might. Are you going?
I am, yes.
Yes.
I'm gonna go.
Okay, we'll go.
All right, we'll go.
Okay, all right.
There,
Swearing in on,
twist my arm.
next Thursday. And I also want to say a big thank you to people involved in the Christmas in Clayton. It was
good.
I mean, that was really overwhelming and pleasantly surprised at just the response. I was expecting, 100 and 150 people at the most to show up, and there was 3 or 4 times that many out there, just everywhere. All the people standing on their front porch through the whole route of the parade and stuff, and so it was just heartwarming to see all that Christmas spirit here in Clayton, and so that was kind of neat to see. But,
Especially how cold it
Yeah,
But it's cold that evening.
It wasn't cold in that little side by side.
All right, so real quick, let's get a date planned for our end of year meeting, and we'll go to our public comments. So Jenny needs a date and time for us to meet at the end of the year, so that we can pay our final bills. We have that whole week after Christmas, so 26th through the 29th, that we could get together.
I can't do the 27th, so.
No 27th, okay.
What's the 27th on?
Wednesday.
Okay, good, I don't like Wednesdays.
About 28th?
Thursday
28th.
evening, the 28th.
28th is good.
Thursday evening, 28th. That work for everybody?
At 6?
what time?
Is 6 okay?
6 o'clock's fine with me.
All right.
Anybody?
It's fine.
6 o'clock's fine. Okay.
I
6
have
o'clock on the 28th. We'll meet for our end of the year meeting. All right. So real quick.
I have one thing.
Oh, sorry.
I got, and I've had a few come in to the request for the website for a non-for-profit type group wanting to hang a link or something off of our website, and we have a resource kind of menu drop down, and I've gotten one, and I told her I would check with the town because that's kind of the policy that I've always followed, and it's for substance abuse recovery for college students. And I think I can't confirm it's a non-for-profit, but it's basically a support group for substance abuse. And I told her I would run it past the town board if it's okay with everyone that I put it on there. So.
Okay. Anybody got any?
I have
Comments,
no objection.
questions?
Only for college students?
Well, they focus on college students because they collect data and try to then look at ways to help. So,
Okay.
yeah. So I just
Yeah, I think it's as long as they're not trying to sell you something and they're not
right, or a private
promoting.
entity. So okay,
Yeah, weird things.
all right, thanks.
Other things. Okay. All right. So who do we got on our Carla Trowbridge?
Hi.
You're up first.
Hi.
Oh, yeah.
My name's Carla Trowbridge. My address is 4405 South County Road, 500 West. I have a donation letter and a kind of a supply list, if I may. I am a mom of a junior at Cascade High School. I also have a 5-year-old grandson who attends East Pre-K, which has been a huge blessing for us. But I am also a member of the Mill Creek Cascade Backpack Ministry. And what we do is every week we have volunteers, and our volunteers are from the whole Mill Creek community. And we supply food, like 2 breakfasts, 2 lunch, 2 juice, 2 fruit. We put it in a backpack and we send it home with the kids on the weekends for them to have enough food to eat on the weekends. Currently, and I had to make a correction on the letter, it says 38 children, but we just added another child at East. So we have 39 children that we supplement food for on the weekends. And then we try to do special things for them on when we have breaks or holidays, things like that. Last night we had a wrapping party. We had a donation of blankets come in, so we wrapped the blankets for the children. We got stockings, hats, gloves. I know East just sent out a letter saying that the children need to have hats and gloves for recess and stuff like that, but some of these children may not have access to that. We also are blessed to have partnered with Thrive from Cascade High School. They come every other Wednesday and use it as job training and fill the backpacks and stuff and then deliver them to both schools. and we are reaching out to the town boards, just trying to get donations, especially for these special things like a stocking. And, you know, we get food donations, and that's fabulous. We're so grateful. But there are other little things just to show that, you know, the town in which they live in see them, see their families, and we're here to support them in any way we can. We would love to feed not just their body, but their mind and their spirit and their creativity, and however we can do. So that's why I'm here tonight, facing my huge fear of public speaking, to ask if you would be so gracious as to consider a donation to our ministry. And that's all.
Anybody have any questions for Carla?
We have we are currently approaching other town boards. We've been to the AMO town board meeting, and so you're my second stop. Oh, my
Okay.
Do you have any, idea of how much you're asking? I mean, do you have a program or something that you're trying to do that you're looking for $100 or $400, or do you have some idea of what you're looking for?
Well, I do have a breakdown of like food costs every week, which I did just meet this lovely gentleman here the other night. Thank you for to ask him as well. But like the stockings, the Christmas stockings, I mean, we probably had maybe $10, $15 wrapped up in putting that together, because we also, like Thanksgiving and Christmas, we want to send them with the Hormel turkey and dressing dinners and the individual pies, just so that we know, you know, at least they have a Christmas dinner and a pie if they don't have that at their home. We try to do single serve, microwavable, easy for littles to make themselves in case they don't have an adult to help. And I know like the AMO Town Board allocated $380 to get us through till the end of this year, which will go such a long way for, we've got Easter coming up. We like to, at the end of the year, we like to send the kids home with the nylon drawstring bags, you know. We can get them at the Dollar Tree, but we can send them home with that and they can keep it. We would like to throw in like a cup that, you know, just little things to get them through the summer. And then on breaks, like the Christmas break coming up, where they'll be home for 2 weeks. And so in situations like that, we try to send an extra of each thing. I realize it's only 3 days worth of food, but hopefully it helps relieve some of the pressure off of their families just a little bit.
I think it's a good idea. Do we have a fund that
We have $450 left in the promotional fund, promotional appropriation.
Okay.
well,
Might as well spend it.
yeah, I'm gonna make a motion that we
Got 450
donate
left.
$450 to their fund.
I'll
Is that a motion?
Yeah, I mean,
And a second?
I'll second.
Okay, got a first and a second. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. All opposed? All right, there you go.
Thank you
You're
so
welcome.
much.
Thank you for coming to talk to us. All right, next up, Miss Bignell.
Well, I'm Miss Bignell, and I live at 87 West Kentucky Street. On behalf of the businesses and the organizations that came and asked for support for Christmas in Clayton, I just wanted to say thank you. We had an amazing turnout that we could never have anticipated, that many people coming to our little town and just celebrating Christmas, and wanted to just say how much we appreciated the town getting behind us and being able to decorate the town hall and light the Christmas tree. And just when I was standing up there and Santa turned on the lights, just the collective gasp and cheer from the whole crowd was something I will never forget. It was just so amazing. And then also I know Chief wanted to say thank you so much for all of the support that you gave us as well, and also the fire department. Everybody that was able to help out and came, basically just want to say thank you. So, we're looking forward to next year.
All right. Very good, thank you so much. All right, do I have anything else for the good of the order? Don, do you have anything?
No.
Yeah, no, John? You got a list?
Got a little list, yeah.
All right.
There's one in every group, isn't
I
there?
know, George didn't talk much, so. I was going by the apartments this week, and I noticed that they have one dumpster down there that they got, a small one. And there's trash everywhere down there. It was overfull, and I don't know if that's something we could talk to him about, getting a bigger one or what, because it just looks pretty nasty down there with trash everywhere. So I don't know if we could.
I mean, I think from just based on my brief knowledge of the ordinances with that, we would have to send a letter saying, clean this up,
Yeah.
kind of thing. We couldn't dictate to him what size of dumpster or anything like that. It could be a suggestion, like, hey, we want, this has been brought to our attention, can you maybe look into a bigger dumpster?
Or
But
just have
we-
it picked up twice a week.
Yeah, we can make
Yeah.
some of those suggestions, but like I said, we can't force him based on our ordinance.
Yeah.
All our ordinance allows us to do is say, clean this up in order to comply with, not maintaining a nuisance
Yeah.
kind of a thing, so. But
No,
we
not very
can,
often.
we can have you check into that and see what the options are.
Okay, then my next one on my list
Yeah.
is, talking about maybe, of course, going along with how dark it is on 39. I know we talked about maybe getting plug-ins on the utility poles, so we may get Christmas decorations, which would help light up the road in the traffic area. You could see people a little better. I don't know if we're still talking about getting plug-ins on the utility poles or not.
Yeah, Pete was, looking into that.
Okay.
I also noticed in other towns that in like the busier sections of town, like they have streetlights like every 50 feet.
Yeah.
And I don't know who makes that decision, if it's 100% Duke Energy that makes that call,
No,
or if we can
I
request.
think you can
or-
request more.
Yeah,
Your
because
bill
they-
just goes up.
They come through, when they redid they redid the new highway, Duke come and we walked around with them, and they were pointing out where the poles are gonna be, and at that time they asked, did we want any extra lights? But on poles and stuff, but at that time we didn't do it, so that's probably, would be a good thing.
All right,
And
so do we want to see if Duke, see if Pete can talk to his friend over at Duke and say, hey, no charge.
Yeah.
Say that.
Just anywhere.
Bring that
That's a
up
new one
multiple
that I
times.
found.
No charge.
I was printing out.
And see what they say about
Yeah.
adding more lightage to our downtown business district,
Yeah,
just due to congestion and traffic.
one's
and-
from November
That kind of
30th
stuff.
and one's from December.
All right,
And,
The state
and going along with
must have.
the parade stuff, someone brought up to me about, does the town have, and I didn't know, do we have a bond or something in case someone got injured during the festivities? Because was it a town-sponsored event or the ladies' sponsored event? Is that something we need to do for the event, have a bond in case someone got injured or something, trip and fell or whatever? What do you think, Graham?
there's a lot of muddy water with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it was definitely planned by a private group, but the town,
Yeah.
you know, okayed it, we got our police and fire department involved, we got, I mean, so there's, I guess,
Yeah.
first place we ought to check with is our insurance company. What's the insurance company's thoughts
Yeah.
on, is this kind of event covered? And maybe even check on, I mean, we have music in the park events, are those covered, or the, I mean, so,
I think,
And we just call the insurance agent to work with.
yeah, let's call NFP and, just say, we need insurance on our cop car, and we need to know about events that we have in town, what's the coverage, issue on those, what kinds of things do we have to do to make sure that those events are protected?
Hey, Jenny, when you tried to contact the insurance company today, did you talk to Mike Underback or?
Mike Utterback's, email address did not go through.
He doesn't work for NFP anymore.
I called his number today and somebody else before.
I talked to
He-
David Paul. I didn't talk to him, but I was emailing with him. And then he
Okay,
called
I-
me and left me a message.
Um,
They did away with all the
right,
insurance
and
people
so the,
at NFB.
the lady that called me, that, you know, they accidentally sent us that refund check and they wanted us
Right.
to shred it. That lady said she was the new contact person.
Yeah.
So let me get you her
Okay.
information to both of you. Cause she claimed that she was now the person to contact for Town of Clayton business.
Okay.
So I'll make sure and get you that contact information so you
Okay.
can talk to her.
and I only got one more thing. Going along with the Christmas thing, I thought I might check into, of course, buying Christmas decorations, stuff is really expensive, but a lot of places anymore lease them or rent them for that season. And I thought I was gonna check in to see, I'm gonna get quotes on what it'd be once we knew how many we needed to see for decorations. And also, I think it'd really be neat if we had lights in the park at Christmas time, you know, like other places. Since we don't use it and light the park up, but that, you get a price for that, where they bring the lights out and they hook everything up. End of the year, they come and take them back, so you wouldn't have a story problem or nothing. Don't hurt to do that, free, that's free.
Doesn't hurt to ask.
No, don't hurt that. That's all I have.
What was the second thing you talked about? Cause David had my pen.
Yeah. The second thing I talked about,
Uh-huh.
get my list so I can't one of
Look
the
at
pills
both
you're
of us, we
taking,
both
yeah.
can't remember.
Plug-ins on the poles,
Okay.
or the bond, it might have been the,
No, it's the plugins on the board.
There's the one. Yeah, plugins on the, okay.
All right. Dave, do you have anything else to add? And Jenny,
I have nothing.
Graham?
Nope, I'm gonna be out of town, the January meeting, just as an FYI.
Okay. All right, and I don't think you have to be here on the 28th, we're just paying a bill.
No, we'll just pay the bills. It'll probably
Right.
take,
So I would never have in the past.
no.
Never.
I believe so.
Copy that. All right, do I have a consensus to adjourn?
amen.
All right, 7:58, meeting adjourned.
Good deal, good.